All right, guys. So I stumbled across this very, very, very emotional and heart-wrenching interview that I want to talk about because I think that it needs to be talked about, right? Involving one of the people slash business owners that were doxxed after sending a donation, right? A small donation to the Freedom Truckers through the Give, Send, Go platform. Now, if you guys didn't know, you should know the Give, Send, Go platform was hacked. Okay, it was hacked allegedly by left-wing extremists who don't like the fact that people are supporting the Freedom Truckers and what the Freedom Truckers are doing with their overwhelmingly peaceful protests, right? So for whatever reason, this is how the left likes to play their game. Okay, and the point of me doing this video is to highlight this woman and what she's going through, to show the world that hey, this is the emotional pain and trauma that you're causing people from this left-wing extremism, from these people who, for whatever reason, hate the Freedom Truckers so much, and they hate the people that donate them, they hate the people that support them so much that they will go out of their way to ruin their lives. Okay, and it really shows you how much we have forgot about each other's humanity in 2022 all over politics. Okay, this is one of those things that when I did a story yesterday about this, and Ilhan Omar actually coming out and defending this shop owner, I tried not to mention her name because I didn't necessarily want to be a part of that. But she's come out publicly. She's now went on Fox News, so now I think it's appropriate to talk about her since she is revealing herself publicly. And her name is Miss Tammy Giuliani, and she is the owner of the Stella Luna Gelato Cafe. Okay, and she donated about $250 to the Freedom Truckers, and she supported because she didn't want them to be sleeping at night with no gas, right? She wanted them to stay warm. She just wanted them to have a warm place to sleep. Okay, that's what she wanted, right? But now she is regretting her donation, according to some news outlets, because after being doxxed by liberal news outlets like the CBC, the Ottawa Citizen, the Washington Post, which are all mainstream news outlets that are doing this, and other left-wing activists like Dean Blundell, who is actively doxing and sharing information about these donors on Twitter. She received all types of threats, right? And I want to play her emotional testimony here because I want people to understand the harm that the left is causing regular, everyday, normal people simply over a disagreement in political opinion. So let's go ahead and get into it.
What has been the blowback for you and your shop, and what kind of threats and harassment have you faced after that donation was made public?
Well, you need to understand that Stella Luna is our livelihood, and my husband and our children and son-in-law all work for the business. It's how we pay our rent. It's how we keep our lights on. It's how we eat. So we feel very passionately about eating. And
that makes
everyone has pushed really hard over the past 2 years trying to keep this business alive. So we have this passion, and it just keeps going on and on. So I reached into my personal pocket and I pulled out $250 of my personal money, and I gave a donation to fill a gas tank of someone so they didn't have to sleep in minus 30 in the cold that night. And I think that decision speaks to my humanity and not to political beliefs.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. We don't know what her political opinion is, right? But she did it, again, according to her, out of humanity. She's like, listen, I may or may not agree with what they're doing, but I don't want people sleeping in the cold at night, right? I don't want them doing that. So, hey, I'm going to donate some money to help this person fill up their tank. And it's not necessarily even about politics at that point, right? It's simply about humanity, right? But again, for whatever reason, the left thinks that people like this should be punished.
But attacking our children, attacking our team, that's unconscionable. And I think never in my 56 years have I ever experienced a country so divided, so full of hatred towards friends and neighbors.
Facts, right? We're the most divided that we've ever been. Okay, we're the most divided that we've ever been. Right. And a lot of this is driven by the mainstream liberal media. and the radical rhetoric that they're using to describe people, particularly those who don't agree with left-wing opinions, right? Where they've characterized these truckers as terrorists. Okay, and even if you're a platform like Give, Send, Go, they're saying that you're a terrorist platform, right? Which means that people that donate via the platform to support the Freedom Truckers, they're terrorist supporters, right? You're financially supporting terrorism. That's literally how the left-wing media and people like Justin Trudeau have framed innocent civilians. People who simply are just like, hey, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with the vaccine mandate, or people who might not necessarily even be, against vaccine mandates, but they might just be, hey, you know what? I just want to make sure that some of these guys are not, sleeping in the cold at night, right? Again, all those people are being smeared as terrorists, and that is what's driving a lot of hate towards everyday, normal, innocent people.
Sorry, I lost you there. So full of hatred towards their friends and neighbors. They might have opinions that differ from theirs, but they're so willing to publicly shame and humiliate and spew forth angry vitriol. We have been called terrorist for the first 36 hours. We were inundated with hatred, with threats of violence. People threatened our team on the phone, telling them we're coming to get you. We're going to throw bricks through your window. You'll pay for this, you Nazi supporter. I personally have been called a disgusting pig of a woman and that I should rot in hell.
Well, all the so-called women's rights supporters, right? That's supposed to be on the left. The people that's supposed to support minority business owners, right? People like this woman who is simply running a business that are now being harassed, called names, called a Nazi, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure, people are calling her that because of, Justin Trudeau, who's, again, the leader of Canada, using extreme rhetoric like that, trying to compare people who are, associated with this protest to Nazis, right? Again, what are the people, again, that are supposed to be standing up for women? Okay, is this what they agree with? Do they agree with a woman being harassed like this? Being called a pig, right? Being called a nasty woman? Do they agree with that? Because, again, they made a whole big deal out of it, okay, when Trump made some comments about Rosie O'Donnell, right? Or he made some comments about Hillary Clinton. They was just so up in arms. Oh, my God. Trump said this about a woman, right? Now, these are famous women. These are rich women. These are politicians, right? This is a woman who was doxxed. This is a business owner. This is a regular, everyday person being harassed. Crickets. You don't hear anything about it, right? The only person, again, that spoke up for this owner that is on the left is Ilhan Omar. And it is a shame when Ilhan Omar, right, for as radical as she is, she's the only one that has spoke up. Now, some people say that, well, she spoke up for this reason, spoke up for that reason. Honestly, I don't really care what the reason was. I'm just glad that she did it, okay? Because nobody else is doing it. Because these people on the left, man, for as much as they want to talk about, radical extremism on the right, I mean, these guys, they just, it's almost like they just completely ignore all the extremists on their side of the aisle, right? They're just allowed to do whatever, okay? They're just allowed to do whatever. And it's just 100% ignored. Because they think it's right. They think that this is the right thing to do. They think that they're on the right side of history. Imagine harassing an innocent business owner, right? A woman. Imagine thinking that you're on the right side of history for the emotional pain and trauma that you're causing this woman simply because she donated a few dollars to a protest that you disagree with. It's insane, man. It really is.
Our rural shop out in Merrickville, Ontario, someone draped a large bed sheet over our sign. I'm sorry. It's been a tough few days, and I think, and the sign read, "Tammy supports terrorists." Now, Mama Bear is going to dig out her claws on that one, and we're getting the video surveillance and the incident, and we will pursue that with the police. But late yesterday afternoon, messages of support and encouragement started to arrive, and people from coast to coast to coast throughout Canada and the US. And, they've been buying gift cards online and calling themselves guardian angels. So, we're going to use those funds to help pay the staff for their missed shifts and get some security guards in and make sure everybody's safe. And
it's a shame that she has to do this. It's a shame because apparently the shop had to close down. That's how bad it was. That the shop had to close down for a few days. And now, again, they have to, rely on donations to pay the staff for their missed few days. They have to hire security guards for a coffee shop, right? Again, these are the people who claim that the biggest threat to democracy is so-called radical extremists on the right. Again, I have never seen this level of harassment when it comes to people who disagree with the BLM protests. I haven't seen this. I've never seen this, right? I haven't seen people who donated to that movement get doxxed, okay? And listen, here's the thing. People that have donated to that movement, I can argue now that you're funding a group of people who have assassins, failed assassins, would-be assassins associated with them. You're funding people that have funded getting criminals and murderers out of jail, putting them back on the street for them to commit more crimes. But yeah, again, I haven't seen any of those people be doxxed. I haven't seen this type of hate and vitriol towards all the businesses that have a "We Support Black Lives Matter" sign up on their business. I haven't seen this. Those businesses have been harassed more by people on the left than they have by people on the right. That's a fact. That's why they have the signs up. Go to Washington, D.C. Almost every store got a Black Lives Matter sign up there. Why is that? Not because they really actually support the movement, right? It's because they don't want to get their businesses broken into, right? They think that, hey, we put a Black Lives Matter sign on our business, this will help us. Maybe that's what this lady should do. Maybe they'll stop the harassment. If she just put a Black Lives Matter sign on her business, maybe they'll stop the harassment. It's a shame. This stuff is getting way too out of hand where people go out of their way to ruin people's lives, everyday people, over politics. It's really silly. It's ridiculous. It really is. But again, a large majority of this stuff that you're seeing is coming from one direction of the political aisle. It just is. That's just the facts. Those are just the facts.
That they feel safe coming to work. But the phone has been ringing off the hook all day today from calls all over Canada, all over the US, sharing stories of losing their jobs because of bankruptcy or because they refuse to get vaccinated, losing their homes. We've heard tragic stories. I didn't think it was going to be this hard. But
I understand.
One second. We've heard so many stories from people calling to support us because, we're pretty insignificant and we're just a little gelato shop. And all we want to do is make really good gelato. And so to have our, to be targeted and have our staff targeted and our children targeted, because I decided to reach in my pocket and, fill the gas can of some guy I didn't want to see sleep in the cold overnight. But our kids arrived at the shop today. And there were heart-shaped balloons hanging from the door handle, and the window was covered with little sticky notes, and they were all these inspirational messages of encouragement. I think our favorite, which sums it up in a nutshell, so to speak, was somebody said, "Pistachios before politics."
That's wonderful. Well, Tammy, you are such a perfect person. I love you. The audience loves you. You're a total sweetheart. I can see how hard this has been for you, but how inspiring you've been for us and for the community up there. And we're at Jesse Watters Primetime. We're going to order a boatload of pistachio. I don't care how we get it here. We're going to get it here, and we're going to order a hell of a lot of it. So,
all right. So, yeah. As you can see there, this is the pain and trauma that is being caused to everyday citizens who simply, supported the Freedom Truckers and their protests for whatever reason, right? This is what's happening. Their livelihoods are being ruined. Now, I'm going to pray for this woman. I don't know exactly how to support her. I looked some stuff up before doing this video. However, I couldn't really come up with any way to support her directly. Maybe something will come out. I would just say vet or whatever comes out, before you send your support, because nowadays that's what you got to do. In order to make sure that, the people that you're trying to support actually get the money. But yeah, she really does deserve a lot more than this, right? But she's not the only one, right? You have other people out here that are probably losing their jobs because their name is on this list. They're losing their livelihoods. They're being threatened. They're being doxxed. They're, experiencing all type of traumatic experiences from left-wing extremists who, don't like the fact that, they support a protest, right? But again, these are the same people that supported the so-called Summer of Love, okay, where, we saw violence happen all over this country, okay? And for whatever reason, that was cool, right? That was okay. That was fine. But again, an overwhelmingly peaceful protest, apparently, because the left don't agree with it, this is what normal everyday citizens deserve, okay, according to them. And these people think that they're on the right side of history. Those people are insane, right? And, the people that are doing this, I hope that they're brought to justice. But I really don't have faith in the system at this point to bring those people to justice. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.